Okay, so for those of you who missed the first class, it is an important one. I'm going to send out the link and you can watch that online. We are in the first chapter of the Megillah. Let's do a quick recap. We know that there was someone called Nebuchadnezzar. He destroyed the first temple. After him came evil Merodach. We didn't really mention him too much. Belshazzar, we mentioned. He took over from him. Darius the Mede came. Cyrus started to build the second temple. Achashverosh, with his help of his evil wife, who we're going to meet today, whose name was Vashti, prevented Achashverosh, prevented the Jewish people from building the second temple. Now we're in the third reign of Achashverosh. Why do we say the third reign is important? Because there was the 70-year period, we said, that was predicted by Jeremiah the prophet. According to Achashverosh, that landed in the third year of his reign. He now is comfortable. He throws a party. How long is the party? 180 days, a 6-month party. Why so long? Was he a crazy party goer? Right. Why was he doing it though? Why is he getting so excited about inviting all these people to his party? What is Achashverosh's plan? He was a genius. What's he thinking about? Anybody? He wants to consolidate his leadership. Phones away, please. He wants to consolidate his leadership, his power. He does not come from a royal line, and that's going to be very important today. It's about that man. It's going to be one of the themes today. He does not come from royalty. He came as a military individual who went up in power. He managed, through unusual means, to acquire a lot of money, which was very important to acquiring power in those days. And he throws this 6-month party, followed by a 7-day party. 6 months for everyone, 7 days for Shushan. And we said there was a machloket, Rav and Shmuel, whether that was a smart thing to do or not smart, to start with all the people and then the people local to you. He maybe should have started with the people local, then gone for the big group. That was last class. He gets dressed up. So we see the first item of clothing that is mentioned today. Today we're going to talk about clothing and non-clothing in today's class. He dresses up as the Kohen Gadol, okay? And that is hinted at in the next verse that we're up to. We're in chapter 1, Perek Aleph, Pasuk Vav. Chor Karpas Tchel. Can you see there is a large chet? Does that appear in what version you have? Okay, the large chet is the first letter. That's how it appears in the Megillah. There's certain letters that are enlarged, right? They're like highlighted, bold, and put into Times New Roman 16 by the author of the Megillah, if that existed back then. And sometimes the letters are minimized. See that in the Torah as well, called Ze'ira, right? That's there to demonstrate something. Like, for example, the Aleph in Vayikra was there to tell you something about Moshe Rabbeinu, right? As being a humble individual. Here the chet is made big. It's the letter 8. Chet equals 8, right? It's the 8th letter. What is the relationship between that? Why are we making this one big? So, different commentaries on this. One says because he was wearing the 8 garments of the Kohen Gadol. He dressed up as the high priest, the Beit Kahuna. Perek Aleph, verse 6. He dressed up as the high priest. What was his message we said last class? He wanted to show the Jewish people, it's all over. Jeremiah's prophecy of 70 years was not fulfilled. He was wrong. You're staying here, and I'm your high priest. This was one of the reasons the Jewish people were greatly castigated, told off for attending the party. Not that they all did. We'll meet the one character today, one great person, I should say, that didn't. Chor, Karpas, U Techelet. Chor, Karpas, U Techelet. What is chor? What is chor? Anybody? Chor is a white, beautiful tapestry. White, beautiful tapestry. Now, it's unusual, because you would have thought he starts with beautiful colors, and he's going to color, but the Megillah says that there was a lot of white, and this was actually put into his head by God, to have white there, to remind the Jewish people who attended the party that we have to whiten our deeds. This is not the right place to be, because white is a sign of purity, a sign of holiness, a sign of cleanliness, and this was there as a sign for the Jewish people. Chor, karpas. What's karpas?
Celery.
Celery, right. Very good. Why do we, that's because on the Pesach Seder we eat karpas. Why do we eat karpas? Which is any root vegetable. Some eat celery, by the way. Although it's actually Persian. Any Persians here? Right? What's karafs? Celery. Karaf is celery, right? It's from this. Isn't that cool? Oh, look at that. You like that, right? Okay, it actually comes from Yosef. He had a ketonet pasim. He had a coat of many colors. Actually, it was actually maybe only a few colors. It was a beautiful striped coat. And he wore it. Karpas. Ketonet pasim. That's why we eat it as a remembrance of Yosef at Tzaddik at the Pesach Seder. Here it's being mentioned to remind us how we got into this mess in the first place. This is another exile, just like the Egyptian exile that started with Yosef. So here is also, the Jewish people would have seen this karpas, this color as well, and they would have realized this wool, karpas stuff, and they would have realized there was techelet. Techelet is blue wool. Blue wool is techelet. Anyone know where the techelet came from?
The snails.
From the snail, a chilazon, certain aquatic creature with a shell, a type of snail that they used to take the blood from, make blue, and blue is obviously a very, very special color for the Jewish people. You go to Sfat, you see blue everywhere, and the idea of Techelet was the Jewish people would see the blue, they would think of the ocean, think of the heavens, and think of Hashem. It's a very spiritual color, okay? So all these things were being put down around. Hashem planted it in the mind of Achashverosh and his subjects to decorate this part of these colors, and all these colors gave off different messages to the Jewish people. Now, his theory was he wanted to demoralize them. He's like, oh, you want your white? I'm your white. Oh, you want to have your blue? I'm your blue. I'm your Techelet. You don't need that anymore. Okay? It's all done. You're staying here in exile. Achuz that was held together, bachavle boots with cords of beautiful linen, the argaman, beautiful purple wool, and these were colors that were found in the Beit HaMikdash. So he's not only transplanting his clothing from the temple, he's also now taking all the items from the Beit HaMikdash that he captures from Belshazzar, right? He took it from Evil Merodach, he took it from Nebuchadnezzar, and he's now started something really sick. He started to transplant all of the items, the gold and the silver and the colors and the wool, and brought it into his palace in Shushan. So now they've entered into this fake Beit HaMikdash, fake temple, and they're, as it were, worshipping him. That may not have been their intention, but that is what was happening over here. This was not good. Glili Kesef, there was a lot of silver, Valmudei Sheish, and marble pillars, Mito Zav Kesef, Aris Bahat V'Sheish, blue, and there was red, beautiful colors. It was a multi-experience experience that we're going through of different beautiful colors, lots of gold. Okay? Now, let's talk about what they were eating and drinking. Look at the verse 7. V'hashkod b'klei zahav. They were drinking from golden goblets. V'kelim shonim. They used to drink from these beautiful gold goblets. Many of them were taken from the temple, or from the gold that was taken from the temple, melted down. These goblets were extremely precious, and there were so many of them that almost disposable. They would drink from one, they would just cast it aside and drink from another. Right? This is how ostentatious it was made. V'yain malchut rav, there was a lot of wine, kiyad melech, in abundance. In abundance. Now, we're going to see they were not forced to drink this. Vashti kadat ein ones. That's what the next pasuk tells us. Ein ones means they were not forced to drink it. What does that mean? So what they used to do in those days, and maybe today as well actually, but it's on most university campuses, but not on this one thing, was they would put a large keg of wine on the table, and people would come and they would drink so much, they would become delirious, and many would die from the experience. Or they'll go outside and vomit and start all over again. Actually, the word vomit comes from the word vomitorium, which is actually a place, I think, in Greek culture, they'll go outside, vomit, come back in again, and keep on eating. Right? It was debauchery, right, at the highest level. I know it sounds good to most of you, but it wasn't a good thing. Okay? Here, however, he's ein ones. Ein ones. What's ein ones?
It says no restriction.
He's not forcing them, right? He's not making restrictions on them. To onus is to be forced. You don't have to do this. If you used to make them drink, and they would copiously make them drink, and keep till they got drunk, and maybe get sick from it. No. I want you to be happy. Why does he want them to be happy, the Jewish people to be happy? Because he wanted to fool them, possibly, but to keep them happy. And he's still building up, just like a dictator. When a dictator doesn't begin by killing everyone, he kills some people, and then he wants everyone to be his friend, and he's being nice to you, he's accumulating his power, and he wants the Jews on his side. And even another, it wasn't just the Jews, the other subjects as well. I'm not going to force you, be comfortable, enjoy the wine. Again, he's consolidating his power, and making everyone very, very comfortable. Yisrael Melech al kol rav beitu lasos k'rasolav ish ve'ish. He had ordered the officers of his house, they should do according to every man's pleasure. Whatever the guy wanted, they got. No forcing, no over drinking if they didn't want to. They drank as much as they wanted, they were comfortable, they saw the beautiful designs, they got to drink in beautiful cups. And all of this was a great disgrace for the Jewish people because they were celebrating this Achashverosh and the temple's possessions. Yeah.
Can you read the definition of that?
Ein ones, not forced. There was no forcing over here. Okay? He's buying power. He's buying power. That's what he wants to do over here. Buying power. Okay. Enter stage left. Someone by the name of Vashti. Who was Vashti? Who was this woman? She was a granddaughter of Belshazzar. And he, in one of his conquests, captured her and took her as his wife. And by the way, he loved her very, very much. But not only was Vashti a very beautiful and charismatic, we find out, powerful, extremely anti-Semitic individual, a major Jew hater, as I shall prove to you in just a couple of moments, she was also from royal blood. Remember, a dictator like this is not like his predecessors that came from a royal line, like Nebuchadnezzar and even Merodach and Belshazzar. He comes from nothing. So what did he want to do? Consolidate his power. How do you do that? You marry royalty. When you marry royalty, Achashverosh does not come from a royal line.
But we're not talking about Belshazzar.
Belshazzar did.
So who captured Vashti?
Achashverosh, I'm sorry, did I say Belshazzar? I mean Achashverosh captured Vashti, right? Captures Vashti, and she comes to the royal line of Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar, I'm so sorry, and he gets hold of her and he marries her because he wants to buy in. And to this day, I mean, this was very, very normal. They used to just get a prince and a princess from different countries and be like, you two are getting married because we want to have peace between France and England, for example, okay? Or Germany and France. They used to just marry them off to consolidate power, right? And to this day, if you marry royalty, if you're watching the news, what happens to people who marry royalty? Whoop! They become like royalty themselves. You see it on the news right now with the little bit of royalty we have left in the world. If it is royalty. What?
The girl from Suits, it's married. She's marrying.
Right, you have this girl marrying into the British royal family. That is absolutely correct. Let's have a look what happens over here. Look up carefully. This is amazing. I want you to look at this verse. This is amazing. Look at the power play that is going to happen right now between Achashverosh and Vashti. You're going to love this. Gam Vashti Hamalka Asta Mishte. Also, Vashti Hamalka made a mishta, made a banquet, her own party. Really? Vashti makes her own party? Why is Vashti making her own party?
Boycott.
For a woman.
Now, when I was a kid and I read this, when I was a kid, by the way, there was a lot of details that were left out, right, which you're all going to hear. I got the sanitized PG version, okay? You're not getting that from me. You're getting the true Chazal-laden version of what was going on. First of all, Vashti was not some... I thought she was like a tznuah woman. She was like Haredi. There's the Achashverosh in a men's party. There's Vashti in the women's party. Believe me, that is not what is going on. Right? That Jewish day school version you heard is most certainly not happening. She was a vile woman. She didn't have a tznuah bone in her body. She wanted one thing and one thing only. And what's that? To make a point. You, Achashverosh, you're rich and famous and powerful because of me. You make your party, I make my party. That's what she does. So she's celebrating as well because she doesn't want the Jews to go back. So she's saying, you make your own party. What kind of queen makes her own party? You do a husband and wife party, get together, you welcome the guests, you got the red carpet going out. She's like, no. You do your thing, I'm doing my thing. Now watch this. This is fascinating. Gam Vashti Malka asta mishte nashim for the women. Beit HaMalchut Ashel Melach Achashverosh in her own royal palace with of Achashverosh. So she's doing her own thing. She's got her royal house. And Achashverosh goes, you have a little boys' party. Off you go. I am powerful over here as well. What happens? Yeah.
I was going to ask, doesn't it make sense that they wouldn't have a party together because men didn't treat women with any equality?
Oh, it was far from equality. We're going to see how bad it gets.
So it makes sense that they wouldn't be having it.
There's made no mistake. It could be that this may have been a style. He's going to bring her. They used to have women come and dance for them. They would have women there. They were demoralized. They were put down. She is actually fighting against that. But not too much. We're going to see that he's going to have her come to the party, or hope come to the party in a moment, and act out at the party itself. This is a royal thing. They should have done it together. They should have this party together. She is making a political point by having a party to herself. Yeah.
She wanted to show that she was more powerful than him, or also
that she's more powerful. That he's coming from nothing. He's not some schnook
right.
who's only there because of me. So she makes her own party. Believe me, they had no problem having mixed parties over there. No problem. Let's see this together. What happens? B'yom hashvi. Now that's interesting. On the seventh day, what happens? Ketov leva melech yayin. The king gets wasted, absolutely drunk. Okay, with wine. Why are we being told the day? We haven't been told the day at all. All of a sudden, we're being told, oh, by the way, on the seventh day of this party. What is this a reference to?
No, is it the seventh day of the first party or the second party?
The first party, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. First day, seventh day. What's going on the seventh day? What's happening over here?
Shabbat.
It's Shabbat. Why were we being told it's Shabbat? Or it's being encoded to us that's the seventh day. So let me give you a little bit of history about Vashti. Vashti was a very vile and sick woman who followed in the traditions of her grandfather and father. She used to strip the women naked, Jewish women, beat them viciously, and make them work on Shabbat. Now she did this not just because she was an evil woman, but she did it deliberately on Shabbat. Why? Now this is going to sound wild to you, but it's true. She knew a secret. She knew a secret that unfortunately even most Jews today don't know. And that is that redemption comes to the Jewish people through the merit of Shabbat. The Zchut Sechazal of Shabbat brings redemption to the world. She doesn't want the Jews to get redeemed, so what does she do? She makes them be Machalal Shabbat. Now they were onus, they were forced, so it didn't even work, her plan. It didn't even work. What happens to her? So in a moment, Achashverosh is going to get very drunk, and he's going to do something, and it's going to end up with her losing her head. Literally losing her head and dying on this day. This, we see, is one of the first cases in the Megillah, and we're going to see a bunch of them. So this is one of another theme we're going to see coming up again and again. Clothing is one. This is the theme that's called Midah Keneged Midah. Measure for measure. We're going to see this come up again and again and again. This is one of the first times that we see it, and that is that what you do to others comes around and is done to you. Why this lesson, this message has to come from the Megillah, we're going to see. But it's all measure for measure. Okay? You torture the Jew on Shabbat, you die on Shabbat. What you give out, Hashem does to you. This is going to be true for all the people in the Megillah story, especially the Jewish people. What they did came back to them as well. For positive or negative. Right? It could be good or bad. Measure for measure. Good things can happen to you. Right? You want to help people, Hashem helps you. Whatever you do to others, Hashem's going to bring upon you as well. This is a theme right through Jewish life and Jewish thought, but especially over here. Is your question related to this?
Yes. Is it true that she had a dragon tail?
We're going to get there in a second. Hold on to your tails. Okay, Bayom Hashvi, Ketov Lev HaMelech B'yayin, he gets drunk. Amalum Human, Bizta, Chavona, Bigta, Va'avatka, Zeta, V'karakas, Shiva Taserisim. He had these advisors. 7 advisors. And he says, I want to deal with this Vashti problem. Because I love her very much, and he did love her very, very, very much. But he had a problem because she's not at his party. So we start to see this is Achashverosh. He turns around to his advisors, and he's like, what are we going to do over here? Look at verse 11, Yud Aleph. What does he say? Lahavi et Vashti hamalka. Look what he says. Watch very carefully. Bring me Vashti the queen. Bring me Vashti the queen. That's his command. You see that? Lavi et Vashti hamalka. Watch carefully. You're going to love this. Lifnei HaMelech. He says, bring it to me from her, because she's not there. She's at this other party she's done herself. Look at verse 11. Beketa malchut, in her royal crown. Bring her in a royal crown. Now there's a lot to be said on these 2 words. Beketa malchut means only in her royal crown. I wanted to come and dance naked in front of all my people. Why? Laharot ha'amim, so all the people from all the nations could see. Vasarim et yafya, how beautiful she was. Kitova marahi, because she was a very beautiful woman. So he now is saying, bring me her in her royal crown. Let them know that she's a queen, right? Because he wants to keep that. He doesn't just say, let her come naked. He's like, let her come in her crown, so they know that she is a queen, because hey, I'm Achashverosh, and she's dancing for me, and undressed. Do you hate Achashverosh yet? Okay, it's about to get worse, believe me. Remember, I'm here to dispel all Achashverosh love. Right? This idea that we have when we were kids of Achashverosh, like some king with a crown inside of his head. Ooh, bring me Vashti. That's not what's happening over here. It was a very calculated thing. But he says, bring me Vashti. Malka lefnei HaMelech, beketa malchut. So let everyone see that she's a queen and she's dancing for me. Laharot ha'amim ha'samis yafya. Okay. V'tama'en malki ha'mash. Look at verse 12. V'tama'en means she refused. Hamalka Vashti. Queen Vashti refuses to come. Now, when I was a kid, I thought, oh, she was so tznua, she would never do it. She was happy to do it, she wanted to do it, and we assumed she'd done it before. Hashem made a miracle and gave her leprosy or some protrusion from her body, different opinions from Chazal, and made her disgusting, that she didn't want to be seen naked, so she says no. What's the difference between how Achashverosh asks for her and how she refuses? Look at the verses. Look at the verses. What is the difference between how Achashverosh asks for her and how Vashti refuses?
So she has leprosy now, that's why she didn't want to go?
That's right. That's right. The only reason. It wasn't a modesty thing. Make no mistake. Yes.
Where does it turn around the word?
Have a look. Look at the verses. Have a look at the verses. Yeah.
So in Pasuk Yud Aleph, he said Vashti Hamalka, so he refers to her as Vashti and then a queen.
Yeah.
But then the Pasuk after, she kind of like reminds him that I'm a queen before I'm Vashti.
Beautiful. Can everyone see that? Look, he says that. He says, bring me Vashti Hamalka. In other words, bring me Vashti, who happens to be the queen. Can you see that? She responds and says, you tell him, as my daughters would say, that Malka Vashti ain't coming. Which is better? Vashti the queen or Queen Vashti?
Queen Vashti.
Queen Vashti is better, right? Elizabeth the queen or Queen Elizabeth, right? You want to put the royalty first. He demoralizes her. You see the political struggle happening between them? All of this is being set up. Bring me Vashti the queen or Queen Vashti?
No, what does it say the second one?
Queen Vashti refuses to come. Okay, so we see in the words itself, the author of the Megillah is telling us that this, it's hard to see, just look at the verses. You've got to dig a little bit deeper, which is going to be the theme of here, and you see this political struggle happening between them. It's getting exciting, right? What's he going to do? What do kings and dictators do when people defy them? Off with their head.
Oh my God.
Oh, like the Queen of Hearts.
He chops her head off. Puts it onto a platter, and it's brought to the feast with the crown on it. Delicious. Whether they partook of that, yes. It relates to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she would have gone naked to dance.
Absolutely. She had no
If it
problem
weren't
dancing
for
naked.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem whatsoever. Happy to do it.
No question.
Yeah.
So for Achashverosh, he says the queen after, so he's putting her
He's
down.
He's saying you're Vashti, come to the queen.
The queen
She's like, no.
also. Okay.
I'm Queen Vashti.
Okay,
Okay, I'm the royal one, you're not.
fine.
Okay, this is bad. Why is this bad for a dictator? Because if his wife rebels against him, then everyone's going to rebel against him. He's a king. He's trying to hold on to power over here. He's still establishing himself. He's got a problem. What does he do at this point? He starts to speak to his advisors. Let's meet these advisors, because one of them you may not have realized is a very famous character. So she says no in verse 11. They have basically how they're communicating through messengers backwards and forwards. He speaks to the people who know the times. Yodea he'itim. Can you see that? Verse 13. Who are the people, the wise people, who know the times? Who are these individuals? So actually, they were the rabbis. He went to the rabbis that were in town, the leading rabbis. They are known as people who know times, because what the rabbis were doing for the most part, you may not realize, is calculating the months. They were experts of the time. How to know the new moon has come, how to spot it, how to investigate witnesses. So those are the people, and he speaks to them. What are the rabbis saying to themselves? This is not good. This is not good. He's drunk. He wants to kill his wife. If we tell him to... Not yet, we're not there yet. We're going back a little, I'm sorry. He's going to them for advice what to do. Okay? So he goes to the rabbis, the Yodea Itim, these great scholars, and they're like, listen, if we tell him to kill her, he's going to sober up, regret it, and kill us. If we say don't, it's going to look bad upon us. And then we're in trouble. They turned around to him and said, we'd rather not have an opinion. Sometimes you have to have an opinion, and sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut. That's exactly what they did. When you deal with a drunk dictator, just like, I'm so sorry, we can't get involved in this, we don't know the answer, and they stepped out. And they saved their lives because of it. Okay? So instead he turns to other people. Look at verse 14. And the last one is Memuchan. And he turns to them and says, guys, I got a problem. My wife Vashti ain't come to dance. Having her own party. What am I going to do? Okay, so...
I think that's... What's Nimulchan?
We're getting there right now.
Okay.
We're getting there right now.
Oh, it's one of the
Shirel
seven.
Swisser, you had a question. Marvelous. Shivat Sarei Paras. These were the 7 Persian advisors that he had. Roi Pnei HaMelech. People who saw his face. That means the people were very close to him the entire time. He went to his closest confidants to find out what to do. Hayoshim Rishon B'Malchut. They're very, very high. Kedat Malasot Malka Vashti. What to do with this Malka Vashti problem. Right? What we're going to do with this woman who says she's Queen Vashti. You see what I'm dealing with over here? You see what I'm dealing over here? I'm dealing with this Queen Vashti thing. What I'm going to do? Vayomer Memuchan. Look carefully inside. Look at the Hebrew. Tet Zayin. Vayomer Memuchan. This guy Memuchan is the first to answer. Few things. Here he's called Memuchan. Now he's being called Memuchan with a different spelling. The Vav has traveled. It's gone a little journey over here. He's gone from Memuchan to Memuchan. First of all, what does the word Muchan mean?
What was first, Memuchan or
Yeah, Memuchan like this and then like this. The word Muchan means ready. Who is Muchan? Haman. Memuchan is Haman. Why is he not being called Haman over here? Because later on we're going to see a lot of Haman featuring prominently in our story. This is a message for the Jewish people. And for us, the readers and studiers of this great Megillah, one of the greatest Megillah that we have as a people. And that is, Hashem is running, God is running all these events. And everything is ready for his downfall before he even goes up. Right now, he's a garnish, he's a nothing. But Hashem is readying the playing field for him to go up and ready for his downfall. It's all mukhan. Hashem has got it all prepared, it's all ready to go. This is Hashem's plan. How about the change over here? So that's what the mukhan. Hashem is readying him for his downfall before he even goes up. Before he even goes up, he's ready on the way down. Mumukhan, and what's this? What does this say? Mum. What's a mum?
Blemish.
A blemish. Kan, although it's without the aleph, but should I say? Here. Here we have a blemish. Here we have a blemish. He was also the last of the 7 Sarisim advisors to be called upon, which means he was the smallest of the 7 advisors, yet he's the first one to jump up. And Chazal learn a very important lesson from here as well. And they say that he's the last one to be asked, he should have been the last one to be answered. A foolish person jumps from their position, and you see his appetite already for power and honor already at this point before he's even anything. You see him building himself up. So he asks these 7 people, he's the last one to be answered. What's he first to do? Oh, I'm going to give you the answer. So, whoa, there's 6 guys in front of you. Forget about them.
Was it arrogant?
Extremely. Oh, he had big arrogant pride. He's got a lot of problems, this guy. And he's going for power. You see he's going for power? So he jumps forward first. And they say, small people should keep their mouths shut until it's their turn to speak. He didn't. He jumped forward. He's the first one to be jumped off. That's what Chazal say. That's the order. Even the order of the writing is there as well.
Wait,
Yes.
with the vav in the middle was his name before.
Is same thing. This is right. This is Memuchan. This is Haman. It's called Memuchan, and over here it's called Memuchan.
Same
But
thing.
there's a same thing, same word, same shurish. However, we see that they changed the spelling, and it says Mumkan, which means there's a blemish over here. He was a blemish. It wasn't power. This is going to be important. It wasn't power that made him crazy. He was nuts beforehand. The guy was complete meshugana. We're going to see he's actually an Amalekite. All right, he was born with this disease. Okay. We're going to come to it. He had a blemish. He had a chisaron even before. He came from a certain nation who we're going to meet later on. Okay? So now we meet Haman without even knowing it's Haman. He says, I have an idea. Okay? He says, I have an idea. For everything that this woman has done, okay, everyone's going to find out about it, and you're going to have a problem. So he's feeding into Achashverosh's extreme paranoia. What's his paranoia? They're going to come and overtake me. Every dictator is scared they're going to come and overtake them, right? Right? Hussein, he's obsessed with this. What does Haman say? He's like, oh, you got wife problems. And if your wife rebels against you, the queen rebels against the king, then every wife is going to rebel against their husbands. There's going to be massive problems at home. And then what's going to happen? They're going to come and get you.
Yeah.
Because if there ain't no shalom bayit, they're going to come and they're going to get very, very upset. If women start refusing their husbands, there's going to be a mass rebellion, and all the men are going to come, they're going to blame you. Don't do it. You've got to put your foot down now. That's his plan. Actually, pretty smart plan. And what does he say?
Rabbi, did you say that the advisors were rabbis?
No. The first advisors were rabbis, the Yodei Itim. They said, we don't want to answer. Then he chose the 7 close advisors. Memuchan was the smallest of the close advisors. Okay? Okay, he said, we got a problem over here.
So these are non-Jewish.
Yeah. The Jews opted out. They're like, it ain't going to work.
And how
Right?
Haman's plan was to put his foot, like for Achashverosh to put his foot down?
Yes. Yeah. First of all, his plan was to put himself forward, give himself a power. That's why he came out first. And his idea was to keep Achashverosh, to feed into Achashverosh's paranoia that everyone's going to rebel against him, which he did very, very well. And he says that what's going to happen is everyone's going to rebel, and when they hear what happened, and there's going to be a lot of anger and wrath, right? Look at verse 18. There's going to be an embarrassment and a lot of anger, right? A lot of contempt against you. He's like, no. That's not what I need. I want people to love me at this point. Yeah.
Oh, could you repeat the reason he was waiting again?
For his,
For Muchan's name?
Muchan means ready,
Right.
prepared. So Hashem was preparing the story and preparing him early on for his downfall. Okay, this is a code name that is given for him as a sign for the future. There's going to be a lot of this as well. A lot of names over here. Actually, all the names over here. We saw one last time with Achashverosh. All the names of the people are going to signify their mission. We'll talk about that later on. Yeah.
So with the few rabbis that were his advisors, like the Jewish leaders, wasn't Mordechai like one of the leaders?
Not yet.
No, I know not yet, but wasn't he one of the leaders of the Jewish people at
Yes.
the time? So was he one of the advisors?
Could be.
Right?
Not one of these 7. These are non-Jewish
no,
advisors.
before that.
Yeah. They opted out. The Jewish advisors opted out.
Okay.
They opted out. They didn't want to get involved in this. Okay? So that's what he says to him. And he says, not only should you kill her, he then makes the following crazy edict for Achashverosh, his boss. Look at verse 19. And he says, Im al hamelach tov.
Haman is saying this?
Haman, yeah. Haman is saying this to Achashverosh. And he says, Im al hamelach tov. What does that mean?
If it's on,
If it's good for the king, what is that?
like if you want.
What'd you say?
Sucking up.
He's sucking up to him. He's like, you got problems, you got wife problems, you got nation problems, I'm here, don't you worry. He's being very obsequious, right? He's trying to really kiss up to him. And it works. It's going to backfire because Achashverosh, we're going to see later on, is so paranoid, he's not even going to trust his closest advisor. Who gets the heads cut off? People closest to the king. And his head is being muchan, being readied for its own chopping later on in the story. Okay? He says, look at this thing. He says, Imal Melech Tov, right? You should write an edict that should be spread right through all the lands. And what was this edict? V'yikatev? No.
Oh.
No, this is in addition to the death. He's like, not only should you kill her, you should also make an edict that goes out, V'yikatev b'datei paras, or madai, v'lo yavor, it has to be kept. Right? And should not be revoked. That Vashti never appear before anyone before you again. So she's dead basically. And look, he calls her Vashti. Because he's taken out the word queen altogether. Right? He's not even calling her queen anymore. You see that? It's just Vashti now. She's been demoted. Right? She's been stripped of her status at this point. And then make a decree for everyone, all people, great and small, that wives should respect their husbands.
So he says to kill her?
He says to kill her. He first of all calls her Vashti. She's no longer queen. And then he's like, she shouldn't appear in front of you, which is a code way of saying,
Kill her?
off with her head.
Did they really kill her?
Yeah, they cut her head off.
It just says never. She'll never enter
Yeah.
the presence.
The
of
Midrash
king.
tells that's what happens to her.
Okay.
She's gone. She's history, baby. Heads cut off. And this decree is sent out. Now, there's a matter of dispute about this decree. Some say this decree was the stupidest thing that could ever happen. And this was also part of Hashem's plan. Because when everyone saw this decree, that women have to listen to their husbands, what do they say? What would you say? That's a good one. Right? Oh, that's funny. That's ridiculous. This helped us because later on there's going to be another decree. And that decree is going to come out saying on the 13th day of Adar, the Jewish people should be killed. That's later on when Haman rises to power and makes that decree. When they got that decree, they're like, this king's a Meshuggah. The first decree was stupid. This one's stupid as well. So this was also part of the plan, that they should seem as though the decrees of this guy were the decrees of a megalomaniac and should not be listened to. Okay? So this decree was also a favor done on behalf of the Jewish people as well. He put it in. He listened to Memuchan. So Memuchan is now up in power. He sent letters to all the king provinces. Kol Medinas HaMelech, 127 provinces, each in its own script. Now remember, he could have said everyone's going to learn Persian. He didn't. He's like, let every nation, let them understand my decrees are for everyone. Right? Do it in Median, right? And do it in every other language that existed at that time. so they understand it. He didn't just say, it's in my language, go translate it. Right? He's still buying into the people, and the decrees went out in the different languages, and it got sent out to the effect that every man should rule his home and speak the language of his own people. Okay? So that's what we're up to. That's the end of chapter 1.
What did you say? The language what?
The language was in everyone's own language. Right? He makes everyone comfortable, being recognized. I care about you. You keep your own nationality, but you're working for me. And the decree goes out, and a stupid decree it was. So it was bad advice, all coming together. Okay. Second, yes.
So she has been killed already.
She's dead. She's history, baby. She's history.
Wait, can you repeat what the decree was again? I'm sorry.
The decree was that every woman should listen to their husband.
And they said
Was that a stupid thing to say?
Yeah.
And they said
Very, he was like, yeah,
What was the
that's
thing that you
stupid.
just said about the languages?
So, and it was told everyone should know their own language, right? Everyone, right? Kol ish sora beito medaber kilshon amo. And the decree went out in all the different languages. Right? He didn't say it's in my language, you listen to me. He's like, you men, right? You'll be okay. Wives is your husband. This is your language. It's part of his trying to consolidate power. Just so you know, I'm totally against such a decree. Okay, Perek Beis, second chapter. What happened? This is what we call the morning after. That's been some wild night for Achashverosh and his people. What happens to Achashverosh? He sobers up.
But that's the eighth day, yeah?
He sobers up. Well, could be actually. It doesn't say that. But it does say Achar.
Is this at the end of the how many days we said it was 100?
Yeah. Well, no, we're still in the thing. It's Achar. What is Achar? We're chapter 2. Achar. Still in the middle of the party. What's Achar mean? Now, there's two ways to say after. Achar and Acharei. Now, Rashi talks about that in Chumash and says, why do they use two different words, Achar and Acharei? Because one is right after, and one is after, but 2-3 years after. Like, after I graduate, I want to do this. That's 2-3 years. Achar is immediate. The way to remember, I always remember this, is Achar is that the Yud, so it's immediate. Achar, it's a shorter word, right after. Acharei means long time after. It's after, but it's a long time after. So now we're dealing with the immediate fallout from last night. And we got a problem. We got a king without a wife and without a royal wife. So now we have a void to be filled, and all of this, of course, is Hashem, God preparing the landscape for
Jewish people.
Esther Hamalka. Achad v'ma'ileh k'shoch melech Achashverosh. He sobers up. Zachar Vashti. He remembers Vashti, right? Fondly. He remembers her fondly. He actually loved her, right? That was his teen bride that he had captured, raped, and made into his queen. That nigzar leh, and what was decreed against her, right? He's got the classic morning after regrets for the night before. For us, we ate too much pizza. For him, he chopped his wife's head off. Not good. Not good. Vayomer nari hamelech misharasav yivakshel hamelech nari betula tova mara. Dude, you ain't no king unless you got a queen. It's time to go queen shopping. Or, in his case, queen kidnapping. He's now going to have all of his rulers from all the provinces right through his provinces to find beautiful women, young, unmarried women, sometimes even married, snatch them off the street, brought to his palace. You hate him yet? It's going to get worse. Let's have a look. Find beautiful young virgins to bring. He then appoints Pekidim. These are scouts to go out and find at all the Medinas, all the 127 provinces. Malchot of Yiksu Kol Narapatula, Tovamara El Shushan. Bring them to me. Bring me all these young women. Al Beit Nashim, to the house of their women. What is that? What is the house of the women? The harem. The harem. What do you call it? The harem.
What's that?
That is a place where all of the women are going to be kept, and they're going to live there for a year. They're going to be anointed in different perfumes and different makeups, so right through the 4 seasons to see if they are beautiful. Right, some people look better in the summer, Some look better in the winter, some look better in the fall. He's going to do that, and then he is going to violate them and choose one as his queen. After that, if they are not chosen, which most were not chosen, he returns them to the harem. They can't go home, because you can't be like, yeah, last night I'm out to Achashverosh, I'm with him, and tonight I'm back with, Joe Schmo. So that's what he's going to do. By the way, not all of them were captured. Many women voluntarily wanted the opportunity to marry this guy. They were buying a lottery ticket. And by the way, it wasn't bad. You're in the harem, you get to live well, eat well, in those days, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't easy just to be some girl, right? There were many dangers. You were at least safe there. So for many of them, it wasn't such a bad option. It was guarded by... Yes, we're going to meet him. That's right. Eunuch, we're going to meet him.
They're in this house?
El Yad, special place,
That's
yeah.
what that thing is called?
Yep. Right. Don't go there. Okay? You're better than that.
Them
El Beit HaNashim El Yad Hagas Tzeris HaMelech. He's the Tzeris. That's what you just said. Okay? He takes a person who is incapable of being women to run the house, for obvious reasons. Shomer HaNashim, the guardian of the women. Right? V'natan Tamrukeyen. And he starts to spritz them up. This is how disgusting it was. V'nara Asher Titiv Beinei HaMelech. And the woman, the young girl, who was going to be beautiful to the king, Timloch Tachat Vashti, was going to come in place of Vashti. Okay? He's trying to replace her. We're told very clearly. This is a political move to replace. He doesn't have to do this. He wants to replace her to build up his prestige. We're on chapter 2, verse 4. There's the following, which you should be. Tachat Vashti. He's trying to replace Vashti. And that's what they did. So off they went, grabbing women from all over to bring them. Chloe.
Wasn't Vashti's royal family upset?
Oh, they're gone. Oh, they're gone. They're history, baby. They've been exiled. They've been killed. When he take over, right? Look at Persia today, right? Where's the Shah? What happens to all his descendants? They doesn't keep him here. You live over here. He kicks them out of the country. Right? Same Persia. Different people. There's no connection with the people today, the people back then. They want to make the connection. There's no connection whatsoever. Okay, however. Okay, so that's what we have over here. Enter scene right, the hero and heroine of our story. Yes?
How old is Achashverosh?
How old is he? I don't know. I doubt he's particularly young at this point. He's been around for a long time. He's an older individual. Yeah. Ish Yehudi. Ish Yehudi. There is a Yehudi. What does the word Yehudi mean? A Jew. A Jew. This is the first time in Jewish history we see somebody being referred to as a Jew, as a Yehudi, although he's not from the tribe of Yehuda. So people were called Yehudi, Judeans, if they came from the tribe of Yehuda. That was standard. But after the exile, this is the first time we see a person not from the tribe of Yehuda being called Yehudi, a Jew. He's from the tribe of Benjamin, as we are going to see. Why would this word Yehuda, which specifically means from the tribe of Yehuda, be now conferred to someone who's not from the tribe of Yehuda? In other words, what is it about that name that we take that name and apply it to all Jewish people to this very day? Right? We're not Hebrews. Right? We don't go by, we are Yehudim. Right? Even some from the tribe of Levi, a Kohen, we say he's a Jew. Anybody?
So, were the other tribes already gone, like the 10 lost tribes?
They are now, no, they're still right. They've been removed, but they're still around.
Oh, they're
Right? This is
still
the
around?
yes, they're still being. He's from Benjamin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I thought like only Binyamin
There was a
and Yehuda
split.
were-
There's a split in the kingdom. 10 tribes. However, we're still seeing that there are
Still
tribes.
around.
Yeah, knocking around. This is when they start to.
Yeah, like, why don't
be
they call them,
dispersed.
like, Yaakov?
So why are they called being right? They're being Yehudim. So the word Yehuda means what's Hoda? Grateful. Toda. We start to be known as the people who are grateful even in the most difficult circumstances to God. We've been exiled. Our beautiful temple was destroyed by the Babylonians. We're now under the victimship of this Meshuggah Achashverosh, this guy Memuchan, and we are called Yehudim because we are the grateful people who still have great hoda'ah, gratitude to Hashem. That becomes our name. Hodah, just thanks to Hashem. Yehudi, same thing, same shorish, yeah? So let's meet him. Ushmo Mordechai. His name is Mordechai. His name is Mordechai. What could it have said? It says Shemo Mordechai. Shemo, remember, shame. Mo is shame shalo, Mordechai. What could it have said? It could have said Mordechai Hayashem shalo. Could have worked that way. So we see already at this point another, I won't say theme, but a indication, a code. A code. Whenever you see the word shame before the name, we're dealing with a righteous person. Right? Whenever you see the name and then the word shame, we're dealing with a bad person. Let's have a look. So he's being called Shemo Mordechai, but we see there's someone called Goliath, Shemo, Goliath, bad person, tried to kill King David before he was even a king. He's called Goliath. Naval Shemo, right? Sheva ben Bichri Shemo. These are bad individuals whose name comes first and then shame. Okay? They didn't live up to their name. The name wasn't put first. As opposed to Ushmo Boaz, Ushmo Yishai, Ushmo Mordechai, Ushmi Hashem. Even God's name is preceded by the word shame. His name is God. So we already know we're dealing with a very righteous individual because the word shame precedes his name. He had a good name, and the name comes first. Okay? So that's a code we see throughout Tanakh that we're dealing with a very good person. Mordechai. What does the word Mordechai mean? Names are going to be very, very important over here as well. So Mor-Dror says in Shemot, in Lamed, Chafbet, comes the word flowing myrrh. Mor-Dror. Dror is free. Mor is myrrh. Myrrh is a beautiful, smelling spice. Myrrh. 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 It's more. From myrrh. Myrrh is a beautiful smelling spice.
What does it say?
Can you say it again?
Smelling spice. Myrrh.
Yeah, but can you spell it?
What's
Yeah.
again?
Mordor is a flowing myrrh. M-Y-R-H. What's wrong?
I don't know what you're saying. It sounds like, I don't know.
There is a spice. There is a There is a spice. The spice is called myrrh.
Okay.
M-Y-R-H-H is the name of this spice. The comes from the Hebrew word mor, memresh. Memresh.
Okay.
Memresh. Got it?
Got it.
By any
Okay.
chance, is it like a white flower?
I don't know. Look it up.
Okay, so it's a
Do you want-
flower?
'Cause I think
It's a
that's
spice.
the-
Comes from a flower. Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Okay.
beautiful smelling spice.
So what's the what's
So,
First half
Thing.
and second.
so his name is Mor. In Aramaic, Mor-Dror is translated as Mor Mira Dachia.
It is
Right?
white.
Same kind of thing. The word Mordechai
It's
comes
a
from.
white flower.
It's a white flower. Yeah, that's what it is? Okay.
It's not that pretty, but
It's beautiful smelling.
it's beautiful.
So he brought great smell. What is it? What do great smelling things do? They give off their smell, and you touch something that smells good, it transfers. Okay, so already we see this person, his name is mentioned in the Torah. Now we're going to visit that in a second.
I don't know what to write.
You write down, his name is Mordechai.
Yeah.
What does the word Mordechai mean? A beautiful smelling spice.
Oh, his whole name means that, not just
Mordor, right? Mordechai means a beautiful flowing spice. That's what it's reminiscent of the Torah.
I know.
Okay, we got that?
Wait.
Oh God, that was you.
Rita just woke up. Yes, Rina, what's the problem? How can I help? Yes, his name is Mordechai. We are being told that the name of this individual is hinted at in the Torah, where it talks about Mor-Dror. Mor means myrrh, this beautiful smelling spice. Dror, that flows freely. What's dror?
Freedom.
Freedom. Freedom. He's going to bring freedom to the people. He's going to go, and he's like a beautiful smelling spice that goes free. Okay. It's a beautiful name, but it's symbolizing his mission, right? Of sweetening up the world we're in right now. Shmuel Mordechai ben Yair ben Shimi ben Kish. Each one of these names were ancestors. It's not direct, but ancestors. Ish Yemeni. Now that we're going to double click on for a second. He's coming from the tribe of Benjamin. He's coming, let's get rid of Haman. Boo. He's coming from the tribe of Binyamin. Now that's important. That's important. This tribe is a special tribe that has a special mission and a history. Now we're going to mention now, but we're going to look at a number of sources later in the semester, in a few classes or so. We'll see how important this is. Who else came from the tribe of Benjamin? Who else came from the tribe of Benjamin? It's a very famous individual, from the most famous Benjaminite, besides Benjamin himself, and that's going to be important, came from the tribe of Benjamin. Does anyone know who that was?
The first king. Our first king.
King, right. Which king?
The first one, Shaul.
Saul. Saul, a very great man, came from the tribe of Benjamin. Mordechai, listen very carefully. Mordechai is a son after son after son, a son of son, from Shaul. What happened to Shaul? Why did he lose the kingship and it was transferred to the tribe of Yehudah? What happened to Saul that he had kingship and it was transferred to another tribe of Yehudah, the tribe of King David? Who hasn't spoken yet? Anyone give us a? Someone new over here. Shaul is the first king of the Jewish people. Shaul HaMelech. Yeah, Shana Shriki.
Was he the one who looked out his window and saw the girl bathing?
Nope, that's David HaMelech. We're talking about Shaul HaMelech, King Saul. He had a mission. His mission was to kill Agag. Write that name down. We're going to visit him a little bit later as well. He was going to kill this guy called Agag, who was the king of Amalek. And we're told in the book of Samuel that he came along and he was meant to kill him, and he didn't kill him till the next day when he was meant to, and he was told it was a terrible mistake. He was meant to kill all the animals, and he didn't do his job. And Hashem got upset with him for doing this, and he says, you're going to lose your kingship now. You're going to lose your kingship. It's going to pass the tribe of Yehudah, the tribe of Judah. King David. David's going to take over the kingship. You have lost kingship for your entire tribe. It's being removed from you. This is a big, big problem, a great disgrace for poor Shaul HaMelech. He actually goes crazy from this whole episode. He was a very great and holy man, by the way. Make no mistake. He goes crazy from it. Agag, king of Amalek.
It's crazy.
Oh, now, what's going on over here? Now, after all these years, revenge is on the table. The great-great-great-great-grandson of Agag, whose name is Haman, is now going up against the great-great-great-great-grandson of Shaul HaMelech. That's Mordechai. So this episode of the Purim story is just a continuation of a battle that's been going and raging through the Jewish people for generations, and it's about to come to one of its major
Wait, now Agag is going against
the
Mordechai?
tide. Now Mordechai is going to go against Haman, a descendant of Agag. It's all coming together now. Right? We have two sides, Amalek, Jewish people, going down through history, and we meet up again. The perfect point. All the waters have come together into the perfect place, and now that's why one of the reasons we're going to see that Mordechai takes a stand which nobody else does. Okay, he was the right and probably the only person who could do it as a descendant of Shaul HaMelech.
Esther was also a descendant.
We're not there yet. Hold on to Esther. Hold on. We're going to meet her next class. Okay, we'll leave that. We'll stop over there. And the next class we'll meet Esther and see how she qualified for the job.